Yo, what's good people, it's Cactus, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to sample, but I'm also going to be showing you a sick place where to find samples and even how to get them cleared if you want to release your music on streaming platforms. So the service that I'm going to be showing you is called Tracklib, and if you haven't heard of it, it's basically an online record store, but it's huge. They've got over 80,000 original songs and multi-tracks. They keep adding to it too. They've got loads of different genres and samples you can use, and I personally think it's sick because even just last week, I tried to sample a song from YouTube, and then when I went to upload that to Spotify and Apple Music, it got rejected because I didn't have the sample cleared. That doesn't happen all the time, but I have had it happen to me, and I've also had copyright claims on my YouTube channel for playing and flipping over samples. So with Tracklib, they just make it really easy to find original songs, and if you like a sample and you want to put it out, you can 100% get it cleared. You don't have to go and reach out to the creators or anything. You can do it all within the platform. So I'll show you how it works. I'm going to pick a sample that I like and then flip it into a drill beat. And then if you like the sound of it, I'll leave a link to it in the description. They've said that I can give everyone a free trial. They do offer a free trial already, but if you do it with my link, you basically get double the trial time plus double the credits. So yeah, I'm just going to get straight into it and see what I can find. Alright, so I quickly want to show you how it works, how to find samples, how to download them, then we'll get started. So when you're on Tracklib, you have these different catalogs just to quickly find tracks. For example, in Inspiration, you have some collections from some of the OGs such as Just Blaze, or you can go straight to genre, go to blues, classical. I've been looking through the classical ones recently just because I make a lot of orchestral drill beats, so I wanted to find some original samples for that. But you don't have to do that. They've got pretty much every genre and it's real easy to navigate through it. What you could also do is go to all tracks and then search by key. So if you're making something dark, you might want to just select all of the minor scales. You can even go by BPM if you want to find something closer to the range that you want to make. And then when you're browsing through the samples, you can play them. And what I love about this though is the loop section. So I'm just playing an original sample here, but let's say you want to test a loop. Usually when you're sampling, you start off with some kind of loop. You add drums to it or you chop it up. So this is just a quick way to get a feel for it. So I've got loop mode activated and I'm going to click in some sections. I see that. And then you can just instantly hear how you're going to flip it. But when I was searching around earlier, I wanted to find some kind of choir. So all I did was search choir, and then you've got a full list of samples that contain choirs, and you can add them to your favorites, or if you want to download them and use a credit, you can download it here. And like I said, if you want to give it a try, Tracklib have hooked me up and said that I can give you all 15 free credits. But yeah, I want to show you the one that I found earlier, because this one was sounding sick. So yeah, this is the sample that I found earlier, and there was one section around here that I wanted to flip. I think it was this bit. I think the vocals just sound sick. So I've already downloaded it. It gives you a high quality WAV file as well, so you don't need to mess around with dodgy MP3 files from YouTube. But let's see what we can do with it. Alright, so I've dragged the WAV file in here, and I'm going to show you my method of sampling, like how I approach it whenever I'm using a sample. The first thing that I do is open it in Edison. So I just double click on the file, it brings up this, and then I can right click on here, edit in audio editor. Now what I like to do is just start off with a loop, like a 4 or 8 bar loop. So I already had that idea in mind. I wanted to get them vocals near to the end. I think it was this section here. And what I usually do is turn this off because if I play it, it's going to follow it. I don't want it to move. And then I turn loop mode on. So I keep this on snap to zero crossing because what that does is it snaps to a point where the lines meet in the middle. That's how you avoid those clicks and pops, and you know it's going to be a nice loop. Like if I had it around here, that line, chances are there'd be some kind of nasty noise when it was looping. So you just want to make sure you've got the best loop possible before you start chopping it up. Now what I need to do is drag it into the playlist. So I'm just going to use this tool and drag it straight in. Alright, so I'm going to drag it up here, and you can see by looking at it that it's not long enough. It's not going to fit the tempo. And I probably should have shown you this before, but Tracklib actually gives you the BPM and the key just to make it so much easier. But I need to stretch this out to match the tempo that I want to use, which is around about 144. So again, I've just double clicked in here, and this is the one that we've taken from Edison. I'm going to change the mode to stretch. Make sure that this stretch button is activated, and then I'm going to zoom in with Control and the mouse wheel, hold Alt, and then just drag this out. And now what I'm going to do is consolidate this track, because this is going to save a version where it's stretched out. There's a different way of doing it. You can tempo sync it in Edison, but I just like doing it this way because when I drag it into Fruity Slicer now, it's just going to make it so much easier. So next you just want to open an instance of Fruity Slicer in the channel rack and then drag the sample in. And then from here, what I usually do is click this and then click beat. And that's just going to chop it at every beat. And I always bring the attack up a little bit just to give it a little bit of a choppy feel. And if there's any clicks in between the chops, then it's going to get rid of them. And then if I hit F7, it's going to take it to the piano roll. And you can see it's already chopped it for me. So you could just leave it as a loop and pitch it, but I want to make it a bit more interesting. So I'm going to rearrange the chops. So I'm just going to get rid of all of these and see what I can do. And then for this next section, find some different chops that I like. Actually, maybe change these. And then to make it a little bit more interesting, I'm going to copy this over and maybe do something different at the end here. Yeah, I think that works. And what I'm keeping in mind when I'm making these chops is I'm going to be making a drill beat. So I know that the second snare is usually a little bit delayed compared to a trap beat or a boom bap beat. So if I'm chopping the sample up, for example, I know that a snare is going to go here. And you can hear there's some kind of cymbal at the beginning. So I know that a snare will kind of cover that up. So the snare is going to go. Again, there's a little cymbal in this one. It might not be that noticeable once I EQ it, but I just like to keep that in mind if I'm going to be making a drill beat. If you find a sample and it's got snares in it, then just think about the way you're chopping it. Try and position it in a way where the drill drums are going to land. All right, so I'm happy with the chop, but let's play with the pitch now. We could try bring it down. Maybe up. Yeah, I think that sounds sick, but let's do some processing now. So I'm just going to send it to an empty mixer and I'll add an EQ. I just want to take out some lows and some highs. And I'm going to add RC20 to this just because I like the distortion setting. It's just going to brighten it up a little bit. And to make it a little bit bouncier, I'm going to add Kickstart, which is basically a sidechain plugin. And then lastly, I'm going to add some reverb. And I might filter it out just a little bit more. So what I'm thinking is to have these vocals quite filtered out like this, and then I'm going to add my own instruments, and then it should sound sick together. So I just need to work out what chords go with it. I'm hearing F for the first one. Maybe C sharp for the second. What I could maybe do is copy that chord here, bring this one down, get more of a drill rhythm. Have that again, same kind of effect, definitely add some bass notes. Try and invert the C sharp. Yeah, I can maybe copy that across, and then for this end bit, again, just to add a little bit of variation, maybe bring it up to D sharp, and I could copy this too, so it's just repeating. Alright, I'm just going to bring in a MIDI from the new kit just to speed up the counter snare. and added this mallet just to add a nice top layer. Alright, let's add a couple perks in there, maybe this one. Maybe something like this. I've always got to add some kind of hit with reverb, whether it's a gunshot or just a perk like this. I've added one more thing. So I've got this layer of strings, and I think I'm going to have this play when the vocals are out. So I'm just going to switch it up a little bit when I rearrange it. Just the same chords. So I've got everything that I need right now, and if I'm looking sweaty, it's because it's mad hot in the UK right now, and these headphones are just keeping me real warm. So I'm going to start mixing it, I'll arrange it, and then I'll show you the outcome. Alright, so I finished mixing and arranging the beat, and as always, the arrangement's looking kind of mad, but all I've done here is just rendered out the MIDI. It just makes it easier to chop up when I want to add these little breaks like here, but I'll play it and talk you through everything. So in the intro, I'm just starting off with the chords down at octave, and the vocals filtered.
Cactus.
Straight in for the hook. So I've got the counter melody and the strings in the hook. So they're the breaks I'm talking about, it just makes it easier. So we come to the verse, and all the energy dips out. And as always, there's a few 808 changes. And then we've just got a few things coming back in now, like the vocals, and then the pad. I've added a bridge with a synth bass. And then back to the hook. So from the hook, it just plays like the first one, and then it just repeats. So I hope you liked the video, and I hope you're feeling the beat. And like I said, if you like the look of the service, I'll leave a link to it in the description so you can get a free trial, which is double the usual time and double the credits. I think it's just sick for anyone that samples in the beats and plans to release the music, especially on streaming platforms. I think more than anything, it just saves you some time, it gives you some security, and you're guaranteed to get the sample cleared if you need it. But yo, thank you all for watching once again. If you're new to the channel, I drop new videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 PM UK time. So if you want more gems, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.